As we developed our community development program, I've come to realise that we should have spent more time researching what programs are already out there for our chosen need, problem, and population. Because once we had chosen our sporting and mentoring program at Armidale High School, we realised that it is something that has been done many times with perhaps little positive results. In fact, there is a sporting program already in Armidale, and clearly it is not working, shown by the low school attendance and high crime rates currently in Armidale. When brainstorming ideas for our project, we found it difficult to think of an idea that is new and that has not been done before. From class, I've learnt the most important aspect of a successful community development project is that it is sustainable, and for something to be sustainable, it has to be unique. Upon further research, a book titled Creating Innovation Leaders has shown me that creativity is essential for the project to grow and develop, to keep up with the ever-changing society that we live in, and the competitive nature of organisations to stand out and to be unique. Therefore, to change this, I would have urged our group to spend more time to think of a creative and unique solution to our need and problem that might have a larger impact. As the need that we were addressing has not been met as of yet, it is important that we take a different approach and perspective from what has already been done, and hope that we will uncover a solution that can be further developed and adapted in the future to bring change. This also ties in what we've learnt in school about the importance of constant evaluation and change. We learnt that it is vital to evaluate a program at as many points as possible while collaborating with as many people as possible, whether they are a part of your organisation or not, as the more brains thinking and evaluating means more perspective and more innovative ideas. Therefore, during this process of developing our project idea, we needed to worry less about the assignment and the deadlines, and actually evaluate the logistics and influence of the project as if we were actually going to run it, by talking more with the other groups and teachers and each other, rather than being afraid of realising our errors and mistakes and having to start again. When I watched the video called 5 Habits of Creative Leaders, it made me realise that it is important to try new things, even if they fail, because they will lead to greater things, which is better than being afraid to fail and only coming up with mediocre ideas. This change would have impacted our component of having a sporting program using soccer. Personally, I have no passion with soccer or sport, so I thought there must be others like me in the same boat. And if this is the case, this would serve no purpose of motivation to attend school if they don't want to participate in soccer either. Therefore, to change this, before choosing a sport, I would like to broaden the needs assessment and collaborate more extensively with the school and the students to find out what the ideal program would look like to them. For example, we could have replaced the soccer competition with various activity stations that the students can choose what they would like to participate in. For example, art, makeup classes, acting, dancing, and different sports. This change is needed because by using occupations that the students are interested in would improve participation and interest in the program, and therefore assist the achievement of the need of building a productive routine. And this would lead to the solution of the problem of increasing school attendance and lowering crime rates. Involving the students and the school more in the process would also ensure that the program components is culturally relevant and sensitive to ensure that no one is left out. This also creates a focus on our aim of assisting the students to build an inclusive school environment with positive networks where they can flourish and change their pathways for a better future. This takes a person-centered approach, acknowledging that everyone is unique and motivated by different things. The Canadian model of occupational performance and engagement also supports this, by having spirituality at the centre of the model, expressing the notion that all enablers and barriers in various areas of their environment and person rely on one spirituality being fulfilled. Once a person has developed their spirituality through the occupations they engage with and the relationships they are a part of, are they able to find motivation and passion to enable productive performance and engagement in all areas of their life. As well as this, by incorporating the school's interests, it leads to a sustainable project as the program is specialised to the students and will change and grow as the students do, so they do not become bored or uninterested with the program. If I were to be the leader of our project, I think the skill of being creative and innovative is something that I need to develop further in order to create and modify a program that is successful. In my personal life, being creative is a strength of mine, as I'm a dancer. However, when it comes to creativity in leadership, I don't know where to start. This is a huge element where we struggled, as I said earlier, and I think if we had a leader who was creative, it would have made our project more unique with a bigger impact. An article presented the idea that the only way for a project or organisation to be innovative is if the leader is creative and embraces failure as a means of learning and growth. This also correlated to what we learned about transformational leadership and being brave of making decisions that might not initially work, but the mistakes made will serve as a valuable lesson for the future. Therefore, I realised how important it is to learn what an innovative leader looks like and how I can achieve it. I watched a TED Talk that taught me the importance of breaking the patterns and habits that we develop as they act as constraints and prevent us from breaking the boundaries and trying new things. Another video I watched elaborated on this idea and taught me a practical way of breaking the habits and routines I'm used to. Thus, to work on improving my creativity as a leader, I will strive to try to do one new thing every day, which does not have to be related to leadership. I can do this by thinking of what I usually do, and whatever I don't come up with, I must do. This will break down my routine and what I view as normal and get me in the pattern of thinking outside the box. So ideally, when I do need to be creative when creating a project or evaluating if it is working, I will be in the habit of thinking of new and different things to gain a new perspective and insight of how to improve. From class, when we discussed emotional intelligence, I found that my biggest strength is stress management, as I am able to see perspective and keep a level head. However, it also showed me a weakness, that I must work on improving my self-regulation, a skill which would help me as a leader as well as a team member. Upon completing further research about emotional intelligence, it made me realize how important it is to have. It is commonly labeled as a skill that is unseen and what makes certain people stand out. It is also commonly described as a foundation skill that is more important than intellect. This information therefore caused me to research self-regulation further. It made me aware that when confronted with negative feedback or conflict within my team, I often let my emotions get the better of me and unconsciously remove myself from any further discussion as I am scared to share any more ideas. A book I read called Leading with Emotional Intelligence showed me that by developing the skill of self-regulation, I will be able to recognize my negative emotions, think about them, and turn them into something positive, which will create more effective discussion with my team, where we can make more decisions rather than get caught up in the emotions. This would have helped our team to use our time more efficiently to develop our ideas further and really explore how we can make our project better. As I found that when there was conflict, we would lose trust with each other and form smaller alliances within the group, which only results in gossip and negative emotions. When trust is lost, it causes ripple effect and negatively impacts communication, which is vital when trying to make a well-oiled project. Therefore, to develop these skills, I need to begin a routine of reflective writing to recognize what situation caused me to feel certain emotions and how these emotions manifest. By reflecting on this, patterns will emerge and I will be able to find ways and strategies to counteract the negativity and lead to developing trusting and productive relationships to better our teamwork skills. Collectively, our lack of trust in our group also affected our ability to delegate as a team. This resulted in delegation being very unequal, with too much responsibility on some and others hardly contributing. I know personally delegation is a skill I need to work on because I always find it difficult to give parts to other people as I'd rather do it myself. I also think everyone else in my group felt a similar way because we're all perfectionists. So if I had the knowledge of how to delegate as a leader prior to this assignment, it would have benefited our project by enabling us to even out the responsibility in our group, which would also result in a more harmonious relationship with less stress and tension between all of us, as none of us would be overloaded with too much work. Research about leadership and delegation made me realize that the ability to delegate stems from trust, and this can be developed by first building rapport by getting to know each other in a more non-professional context, so we can get an understanding of each other's personalities and values and realize that we're all hard-working, diligent students. As a leader, a way to specifically improve my skill of delegation is by allocating very specific tasks with very specific time frames, so all expectations are clear and everyone gets the chance to prove that they are capable of completing their work to a high standard in a timely manner. The skill of delegation would have helped our group with less tension to give us more energy working positively together to be productive rather than getting worked up over nothing.